On Saturday, the 19th of October, 40 years ago, I officially joined the then Argus company, now known as Independent Media. It's a strange date to start on, but in those days you had to serve a 3-month probation before you got onto the full-time staff. But in my case, after I'd been here for only a week or so, they asked me to sign up full-time. So that's why my starting date is the 19th of October, 1979. And sure, what a 40 years. We've lived through a couple of revolutions. Our one, of course, led by our founding president, Nelson Mandela. But also in terms of production. When I started, we used typewriters and hot metal printing, hot lead printing. And from there we moved to computers, which was a massive change. And of course today we are digital, multi-platform, multimedia. So it's a very, very far cry from a typewriter. And of course with social media, we've also gone through another revolution. Today everybody is a photographer and everybody is a reporter. And it's wonderful that there are so many other sources of news and that people don't depend on professional journalists alone. And professional journalists in fact have to watch their step a lot more these days. One advantage we professional journalists have over social media or citizen journalists is that we of course are trained and experienced in verifying the facts. We don't just report things as they are. We check, double check and triple check that it is true, that it is verifiable, that we can back it up, that it is legal, it's not defamatory, it's in good taste. And so on. And the 40 years, of course, was very turbulent because those were also the years of our struggle against apartheid. Because we in the media had a responsibility to fight for media freedom. We couldn't expect anybody else to do that, except us. So the struggle for the freedom of the media was very much part and parcel of the struggle to liberate our country. And we were also organized as journalists, which is another advantage we have over today's crop of journalists who are not organized. I first joined the Union of Black Journalists in 1977, and the Union of Black Journalists was headed by Joe Thlowey. And the Union of Black Journalists was formed because white journalists had rejected us. When the National Party took over in 1948, they set about racializing and separating everybody. So for trade unions to be registered and to be recognized, they had to be white only. And the South African white journalists decided that they would seek official recognition, which meant that black journalists couldn't be their members. So they started off long ago on the white journalists on a racial footing, having rejected the blacks. So Joe Thlowey and others formed the Union of Black Journalists, which was banned in 1977, October, on that Black Wednesday. It was one of the organizations that was banned. And we then formed the Writers Association of South Africa, WASA, which later we changed to MWASA, the Media Workers Association of South Africa. That was around 1980, because we decided to open up to all media workers and not just journalists. And we were for blacks only, as I said. And later on, towards 1982-83, we tried to open the union to all races. But the Joe Thlowey faction in Joburg broke away from us in the Western Cape and Durban and PE, because they didn't want the union to be open to whites, and we insisted it must be open to whites. So the result of that was that management had a field day. It played the one against the other. Joe Tholway, Tami Mazwai on the one side, and us down here, the Southerners. And of course, it was the workers who suffered again. We reunited the union because the division was only working in the favor of the bosses. And I joined in 1979, October, as I said, and hardly 10 months later, I led the entire staff of the then Cape Bureau out on strike. Now that's everybody except the editor and the deputy editor. Everybody, from messengers to drivers to classified ad salespeople, photographers, everyone. We went out on strike because I was here not even a year, because what we found was the disgusting practice of apartheid here. We were earning peanuts compared to the white journalists. They were probably earning double. All the old battered cars that the white journalists had buggered up, they were handed down to us at the Herald. We had separate canteens, separate everything. And when we confronted management about this, especially the canteen, it's a lovely little story. They said, no, it's not a separate canteen. There were two canteens, and the one blacks were allowed into had a NW. There was a little board with NW canteen above the door. So we pointed this out to management. They said, no, it's not the non-white canteen, it's the Northwest canteen. Anyway, that ended. We were on strike. Management tried to starve us out. They tried to divide us. They went to people behind our backs, paid them. And they really did their best to break the strike. And this was the first strike, by the way. So, fortunately, the president of our union, Zulaki Sisulu, who of course is the son of the luminary Walter and Albertina Sisulu, he sent one of our members from Joburg to Lesotho, to the ANC, and he came back with an attaché case full of money. So we were able to pay people while they were on strike. We even paid one member's bond, housing bond. So we were able to stay out on strike for over 30 days, and we eventually won the strike. And the average increase was 64%. So you can imagine how bad they were. And this was the supposedly liberal, white liberal, English-speaking media people who was practicing apartheid worse than what apartheid had even required.